How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we have movement in the Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Burisma Holdings, Ukraine kerfuffle. Before I get into it, I got to back up a little bit here to give you some context and some history, just so we're on the same page. And this will be the Cliff Notes version for the sake of time. And if you want to read more into it, I'll have links in the box below. Let's go back to 2016. Obviously, Joe Biden was the vice president, Barack Obama, the president. Joe Biden was appointed to be the special envoy to Ukraine. So he had been to Kiev like 13 to 14 times in that period of time when he was the special envoy, and he had a direct line to the then president, Poroshenko. Now, there is an audio recording allegedly of this phone call. I'll place that in the box. Can't play here because it's not being verified. But Joe Biden himself admitted to basically what was in the phone call, and I also placed that in the box. But Joe Biden is speaking to the president or whoever in Ukraine and is saying, hey, we have $1 billion in loan guarantees from the U.S., but check it out. The prosecutor right there, the corrupt person, they got to go. And if they don't go, then you won't get the money. He says this on TV like it's not a lie. I'm not some kind of right-wing nut job, conspiracy theorist or whatever. He said that on TV. And then he was like, okay, doggone it, they fired the guy. Now, in the alleged audio recording, the person who is alleged to be Poroshenko was saying, okay, we'll put in Lutsenko instead. And if Lutsenko is not who you want, then we'll put somebody else in there. So it appears like Joe Biden is strong-arming Ukraine, or at least strong-arming Poroshenko, because you got this $1 billion loan guarantee that they need in exchange for prosecutor being fired. Now, the reason why the Obama administration and maybe Joe Biden himself will say they did that is because the prosecutor was corrupt. Now, I didn't know that it was the vice president's job to get corrupt guys fired in different nations, but that's a different story, and I digress. That's what they'll say. They were trying to target corruption in Ukraine, and that's why they did it. However, this same prosecutor that was fired at the behest of Joe Biden and or the U.S. government was also investigating Burisma Holdings. Now, Burisma Holdings is the largest energy company in Ukraine. Now, a certain somebody was on their board making between $50,000 and $80,000 US per month. And that certain someone is Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son. Now, Hunter Biden has no experience in energy, no experience in oil, natural gas, and nothing. So I'm not sure why you're on that board making that kind of money. And this is Ukraine. This is not the United States or UK. This is not some kind of like super rich country, but I'll move on. So he's on the board and making all this kind of money. And the guy that was looking into the company to see what kind of corruption was happening got fired. So it seems pretty interesting that your dad would come in and fire the person that's looking into your company that could be corrupt. What's going on with that? Was he trying to protect Hunter? Was he trying to protect himself? What's really happening? If they were to dig into Burisma and find some things that were kind of troubling, could it implicate Hunter and Joe and more in the U.S.? I don't really know, but it seemed kind of fishy. Now, fast forward to 2020, there has been a bipartisan agreement to investigate this company called Blue Star. Blue Star is, if I'm not mistaken, an American company, like a consulting firm that was brought on to make Burisma Holdings not look so bad. Okay, it sounds kind of familiar. It kind of reminds me of when the Democratic National Committee or Hillary Clinton's campaign, or same thing, but anyway, it reminds me of when one of the two entities hired Fusion GPS, and then they got Christopher Steele to dig up some dirt on Donald Trump that he got from the so-called Russians, which was no more than fan fiction talking about some girls peeing on the bed, all this, that, and the third. It sounds familiar to that. Now, there's going to be an investigation launched to see exactly what they did, who made them do it, or what was going on. Because we got to find some ties. Like, there may be some illegitimate ties between the Bidens and Burisma Holdings and corruption in Ukraine. That's a very important thing. I mean, what Joe Biden said on TV was enough, in my humble opinion, to get some things going on. But if Blue Star is involved, you got Joe and Hunter involved, it could be a serious issue. Now, of course, the Democrats, they don't want this to happen. I saw Kamala Harris on TV talking about, oh, well, we got coronavirus and we got to spend our time there. It's like, okay, we can walk and chew gum. We can deal with the virus, but at the same time, we can still govern. Just because there's one big thing going on does not mean that we don't have other big things to worry about. And if you got a guy trying to become the president that is super corrupt in bed with the Ukrainians, I think that'd be kind of important. And it's, typical leftist double standards, because when the virus was really going on and Trump was busy shutting down the border and, international flights from China, when he was doing that, what was happening? Anybody remember impeachment? Nobody said, hey, let's just go ahead and wrap this up. We have the virus to deal with. Let's not focus our energy on that. Let's not spend any more money or time. We lost with the whole Russia thing. That took 3.5 years, $40 million, didn't find anything. Let's go ahead and just take a break. No. We got to try to get Trump out of office through impeachment because of a phone call with Ukraine. Okay, but Joe Biden's alleged phone call with Ukraine, that's not even looked at. And if I post it, they're saying I'm posting conspiracy theories, but it's audio. And it came from a Ukrainian lawmaker. And again, if you want to hear that audio, link will be in the box. Check it out on my website. Don't check it out here because they can't flag it on my website. That's my personal thing, but I'll move on. Anyway, that audio totally ignored what Biden said on TV himself out of his own mouth while he's being recorded. Not a candid camera. He has on the suit, tie. He's on stage with a microphone. He knows he's being recorded and it's being videotaped. So he said it out of his own mouth. We went to Ukraine, $1 billion, fire the prosecutor. If you don't, you won't get the money. Prosecutor was fired. They got the money. To me, that's basic quid pro quo. All right. And if it's wrong for quid pro quo to be a thing in the government, especially with foreign governments from the U.S., then what he did was most certainly wrong, if it's wrong. If it's not wrong, then I don't want to hear anything about quid pro quo talking about Donald Trump speaking to somebody in Ukraine. Okay, I don't want to hear anything at all. And it was just an alleged quid pro quo. Okay, it was an allegation. They were trying to say that Trump was trying to get dirt on Biden, talking about, oh, look into him, all this and that, or you won't get the aid money. Nothing happened as far as any kind of investigation, and they still got the aid money. So what's the really big deal? I don't really know, but you know what? I'm asking kind of a rhetorical question that I know the answer to already. They're doing that because they want to attack Trump. They want to attack the Republican Party, but they don't want to do that with Joe and Hunter Biden. Okay, Hunter Biden, back to him right quick before I wrap it on up, put a bow on the top, was a drunk, got a dishonorable discharge from the military. He was not the kind of guy that'd be on the board of an energy company making like 80 grand a month. That's not him. To even have a job for a guy like Hunter Biden is a blessing because he was not really cut out to be successful. All of the evidence is pointing towards Joe and Hunter having some corruption with Ukraine. I can't say that's for sure or for certain, but I've laid out the facts. And like I said, all my links, all my sources will be in the box. You can check it out for yourself. They're trying to obfuscate what Joe and Hunter Biden have done or allegedly are doing to try to point the finger at Trump. And then they're trying to use the virus as an excuse. There's no excuse. Okay, don't try to just, flash the virus card. I'm not trying to hear it. I'm not trying to see it at all. Let's get down to the bottom of it. And if Blue Star is implicated, if Burisma Holdings are implicated, if Joe Hunter Biden are implicated, then they got to face the consequences. Okay, don't let it be this big, long investigation into Trump and have that be okay. But then when it comes to Hunter Biden and Joe Biden and Ukraine and Burisma, you want to be hands off. If we're going to be fair, let's be fair. Don't set a precedent and then back away from the precedent that you set. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? Do you think anything will be found with Blue Star, the quote unquote consulting company that came in and tried and make Burisma Holdings look better? And Burisma Holdings itself, is anything going to be found there? How about Hunter and Joe? Will there be anything found with these individuals? If that's your viewpoint, let me know why in the comments below. Or will it be like Hillary and everybody else that we know are corrupt, that we know are quite frankly kind of dangerous, but they kind of just skirt the law. Nothing happens to kind of like Teflon. Nothing really happens with them. And that's your viewpoint. Let me know why in the comments below. I think there could be something here. I'm not really sure about any kind of criminal prosecution, but I do think that Hunter and Joe will be in some trouble. The most that will happen, in my opinion, is that it'll look bad on Joe come election time, which is pretty much, it'll be here before you know it, okay? It's the end of May, we'll be in June, July, August, and then it'll be crunch time. September, October, November, it'll be crunch time to get things rocking and rolling. I personally cannot wait. I'm ready for this whole thing to really unfold. And hopefully we find more from this investigation than we found from the whole Russia kerfuffle, which was a big fat nothing burger. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.